The impact of Russia's cyber attacks on NATO's military capabilities. Cyber attacks have rapidly become a significant threat to nations across the world, and NATO is not exempt from these risks. The alliance faces one of its most prominent threats from cyber attacks coming out of Russia. The Russian government has been accused numerous times of using its expansive cyber capabilities to launch attacks against NATO and its allied countries. The impact of these cyber attacks on NATO's military capabilities is the topic we will dive into in this article. First, it is worth noting that the Russian government views cyber attacks as a vital component of its national security strategy. In recent years, the Russian government has become increasingly skilled at developing and executing cyber espionage and cyber warfare operations against its opponents. In addition, they have a wide range of capable groups that can work on different types of information gathering and intelligence gathering. One of the most destructive Russian cyber attacks against NATO occurred in 2007. In this attack, Russian hackers successfully penetrated the alliance's servers and stole sensitive information about NATO's military capability. This hack sent shockwaves through NATO as it revealed the depth of Russia's cyber capabilities and highlighted the lack of security measures in place to prevent such attacks. Since then, NATO has invested heavily in improving its cybersecurity, but it still faces an ongoing challenge in preventing further attacks. Another prominent example of Russian cyber warfare came in 2017 when hackers targeted Ukraine's power grid, leaving 250,000 people without electricity. Experts believe that the attack was likely using a Russian-developed malware called NotPetya. Although this attack was not targeted explicitly at NATO, many experts believe that it was a test run before a potential attack against the alliance's critical infrastructure. However, Russia's more intricate and devastating cyber operations have targeted NATO's critical infrastructure, primarily its military capabilities. Russian cyber attacks have targeted various military units, including naval vessels, airfields, and troops deployed to NATO's eastern border. These attacks have disrupted operations and interfered with training exercises, which in turn has damaged NATO's readiness and operational efficiency. The most devastating example of this type of attack happened in 2017. The Russian government used sophisticated malware to target a Ukrainian artillery unit. The malware propagated through the supply chain, where it then paralyzed the unit's computer network, leading to a loss of control over artillery systems. As a result, the artillery unit fired on its allies, causing loss of life and damage to military equipment. There is evidence that suggests the Russian government has been conducting reconnaissance on NATO's critical infrastructure to identify vulnerabilities in its cyber defenses. By mapping out these vulnerabilities, experts believe that Russia is positioning itself to strike in the event of escalating tensions with NATO. The fact that Russia is pursuing these types of sophisticated cyber attacks against NATO reveals an important truth, that the perceived benefits of these attacks far outweigh the potential costs of retaliation. The Russian government can put tremendous pressure and confusion on NATO and its allied nations using cyber warfare without risking a significant military response. In response to these attacks, the NATO Communications and Information Agency, NCIA, has taken significant measures to improve NATO's cyber defenses. For instance, NCIA has implemented a comprehensive cybersecurity framework, which includes advanced threat intelligence, network segmentation, enhanced endpoint protection, and access control measures, among others. These measures are aimed at giving NATO a proactive defense over its critical infrastructure and minimizing the risk of future attacks. In conclusion, Russia's cyber attacks against NATO have had significant impacts on the alliance's military capabilities, and it appears that these attacks will continue to target NATO in the future. However, NATO has responded by prioritizing its cybersecurity framework, and it has implemented measures to prevent, mitigate, and recover from cyber attacks on its critical infrastructure. While the threat of Russian cyber warfare against NATO is something that NATO needs to take seriously, attention must be made to emphasize the importance of resilience and the ability of NATO to operate despite these attacks. This can be achieved by investing more in cybersecurity and intelligence gathering in the future.